So Linda wrote this, and I'm going to read it word for word as she wrote it here. Near the end of our trip, we were told at the Cure Hospital that we were going to get to go on another home visit. Our group was excited because we had been so touched by our other home visits. So, on Tuesday afternoon, along with Miguel and Roberto, two very special young men who guided us and interpreted for us, we climbed into our battered van and once again turned our fate over to our taxi driver, Julio, who did an expert job of maneuvering us through the wild and crazy Santo Domingo traffic. I think Dave summed it up pretty well when he said it was like an e-ticket ride at Disneyland. We rode along. I was hanging on for dear life and praying nonstop. And as we rode, we learned that this patient we were to see was older than the others we had seen before. I looked forward to meeting him. I wasn't really sure what to expect, but had felt God guiding this trip all along, so I wasn't worried. Finally, Julio pulled up a bumpy, narrow street and parked in front of a small house. We climbed out of our van and crowded into the tiny living room, which was so small we couldn't all fit in. There we met a young man named Christopher, now 18 years old, who had recently undergone an extensive back surgery to correct his severe scoliosis. He's the oldest child of Blasina Nunez, a divorced mother of 4. Christopher had been working at a Burger King as the sole breadwinner of his family until he became way too stooped over and short of breath to continue. He stood now straight and proud, with quiet dignity, towering over his mother and younger brothers and sisters. He good-naturedly allowed us to look at the long scar running down the middle of his back and his x-rays where we could see the S shape of his spine before the surgery, and the after view showing his spine now nice and straight with many rods holding it in place. The price at a very substandard public hospital for this surgery would have been over 1 million pesos, which his mother could never have paid. He was able to have the surgery at Cure Hospital for 38,000 pesos, and that's about 1,200 American dollars. Can you imagine $1,200? It costs less than that for a couple of hours at a hospital here. I mean, more than that, way more than that. As we talked to him and his mother through our interpreters, I told her it must be a blessing to have such a fine son who helps her. And like proud mothers everywhere, she smiled, nodded, and agreed he was a very good boy. I could see that this surgery had been important, not only for the health of this young man, but also for the very survival of this family. Christopher stated, "I know that I have to be like a father for my brothers and sisters, and hoped that after the surgery I would be able to be that for them." And of course, being a normal teenager, he also prays that he will be able to play baseball again real soon. After many hugs and picture taking all around, we said adios to our new friends, climbed back into the van, and headed back down the road. I was overcome with many different emotions, but mostly a deep gratitude to God for allowing our church to play a small part in this amazing ministry of cure, and for Christopher, a son, a brother, a caretaker, and an extraordinary young man. And I say once again, healing changes everything.